When I think of the most evil men in recent history, a few names immediately come to mind. Dan Bilzerian, Sean Combs, and Kim Jong-un. But there is one man that stands above all, who has created an almost supervillain level of aura around his heinous atrocities. It makes you wish that we had real superheroes to combat this man's pure depravity. His name, Jeffrey Epstein. And he has a network so vast, a checkbook so deep, and a complete lack of moral compass that make him a threat to any one of these fictional characters. And that's exactly what I'm going to be discussing today. Which fictional superheroes could defeat a real-life supervillain? Now, a brief disclaimer before getting too far into the video. Obviously, Jeffrey Epstein is a complete and total monster. This video is in no way endorsing anything that he has done. In fact, I hope to do the exact opposite. And best case scenario, this video gets people more involved in the conversation and they can go and do their own research and hopefully become more informed citizens. At the end of the day, whatever I say in this video, do not take it too seriously. Now, what is it that makes Epstein a planetary threat? First of all, he has a potential body double in Palm Beach Pete. What this allows him to do is essentially be in two different places at once, and this is great for concealment of his true location if he's trying to fly under the radar. He is excellent at sleight of hand and espionage. This is proven by his ability to self-delete in a confined space under constant surveillance, where a previous inmate at that very same correctional facility had said that this feat was absolutely impossible, and that's extremely impressive. He has an island home base akin to the Hall of Doom, surrounded by water. This guy loves to swim. And perhaps his most important strength is that the rot is absolutely widespread. He has influence at every institutional level, whether that's through his deep pocketbooks or his extensive blackmail experience. But we look at him as a combatant, and he is absolutely not a combat threat, especially to even the lowest of superheroes. He's out of shape, far past his prime, very old. And if you think about it, he is ultimately expendable. What this really looks like is if a hero is able to, expose his dealings to the general public, then his higher-ups have no problem cutting ties. He's arrogant, old. Perhaps his biggest weakness is children, which will be important later on in the video. Before presenting the first matchup, it's important to understand the criteria I used in this video. All individuals are completely in character. Ultimate victory is total exposure. We want to find the people even above Epstein and really take down this entire criminal syndicate. Even though a deletion isn't optimal, it will also be considered a victory in this video. Starting off with Robin from Teen Titans Go. This guy has easy access to the secret island home base. I don't even think they're going to do a background check on him. So this would allow him to use his elite detective skills to slowly gather information and really get a better idea of the inner workings of Epstein's operation. This really allows him to expose the entire network instead of just Epstein. And worst case scenario, he does have the other Titans as backup. The verdict is Epstein would literally lure himself into the trap after seeing a teen on his island. This is 100-0 for Robin. Now, the Deep is up next. Let's take a look at what this guy actually has going for him. He is the king of the seas. This is a horrible time to have an island surrounded by water as a home base, And Jeffrey Epstein's favorite pastime is swimming in the ocean. He also has super strength, durability, and he's an aquatic telepath. However, this guy is extremely low IQ. You could call him a short bus conquistador, extremely easy to manipulate. You remember in season 2, they got this guy in a literal cult because he wanted to gain back some form of influence. And how I see this going is the Deep would actually most likely join this completely evil criminal syndicate after he is manipulated by Epstein and his higher-ups. So I have it 90-10 Epstein. Epstein is absolutely cooked with this one. The Punisher, he hates cheese pizza enjoyers, and Epstein is absolutely worse. You look at the Slavers arc as precedent, where he treats human trafficking as a declaration of war. He's immune to blackmail. I think it's pretty clear that this is an absolute deletion of Epstein and his entire security force. While unfortunately, we're not going to see the entire operation get taken down, and Epstein's never going to answer for his crimes in front of a judge. He is absolutely going to face justice, and maybe that's just as good. And it could be for the best as well, because as we all know, Epstein is never making it out of that prison cell. This is 80-20 Punisher, just because he's still a regular human, so it's pretty hard to give him beating that entire security force every single time. The Jim Carrey Grinch. Now, at first glance, you might not classify him as a superhero, but let me provide some feats to kind of back up why I have him on this list. In the movie, he catches a multi-ton sleigh filled with the entire inventory of the Whoville population. His heart is notoriously 2 sizes too small, yet he operates at above peak human capacity. He has outrageous durability feats, outrageous strength feats, and then at the end of the movie, his heart grows 3 sizes, and he is absolutely fine. There is some sort of magic or superhuman ability at play here, and I think he deserves a spot in the superhero tier. But how I think this would play out is he wouldn't just expose the files. He's going to steal literally everything from Epstein, dismantling the entire organization in one fell swoop. And then he's going to take everything back to Mount Crumpet and just dump it all directly into the public square. This is going to lead to Epstein and his entire operation being burned at the stake by a public mob. This is 100-0 for the Grinch. Absolutely easy. In part 1, I included the CW Flash, and my conclusion was that he would get absolutely stomped. But if you have these powers and a brain, you are essentially untouchable. And that is why I conclude that the new 52 Flash solves the entire investigation, dismantling Epstein's whole operation, including bringing his higher-ups to justice in less than an attosecond. He is a forensic scientist, could gather evidence with ease, and I was even playing around with a time travel situation where we see a phasing of baby Epstein. Is this ethical? Probably not. And the timeline repercussions could be quite drastic. So I'm thinking we just stick to the law on this one. He could even protect Epstein when he gets in that prison cell. I see this as an absolute stomp, perhaps the best possible scenario. Verdict: 100-0 for the new 52 Flash.